Alright mate, how you doing and welcome back to another IMO, and this week, in my opinion, Liverpool made the right decision getting rid of Brendan Rodgers, and here's why. Yes, that's right, Brendan Rodgers is no longer with Liverpool. He has been sacked. Now the question mark here, first of all, is was it the right decision? I think it was. I think a lot of neutrals are sad to see Brendan go because he's someone that's trying to do things the right way. He's got a football philosophy, he's tried to put that into Liverpool, very much kind of give him a bit of stability following the turbulent Dalglish and Hodgson eras, if you like, but ultimately he failed at his job. He didn't bring Liverpool the kind of success he was supposed to. He spent a lot of money. Yeah, he lost Luis Suarez, but he did re-spend that money on players that haven't really delivered, let's be honest. So Rodgers has had time, he's had his transition period, but ultimately the squad that he's built isn't good enough. They're not getting the sort of results that Liverpool feel they deserve. You know, Liverpool might not be the best team in the country anymore, but they are still one of the biggest clubs in the world. And they've got big ambitions, and Rodgers just wasn't taking them there. Drawing with the likes of Sion, in the Europa League at home, that's just not good enough. I think moving forward, there would have been questions as to whether Rodgers could actually attract big names to come to Liverpool, because that's what's going to help them move forward as a club. Some big name signings. Can Rodgers actually attract them based on his reputation in the game, based on what he's done? I don't know if he can. Someone like Jurgen Klopp, who is the front runner to get the job, who may even have got the job by the time this video goes out, he can bring big names. Even maybe some names from Dortmund, some of the big ones. That would be amazing, wouldn't it, Liverpool fans, if he was able to bring in the likes of, Marco Reus or Aubameyang? That would be so good for you. Maybe they've got bigger ambitions to go to a current Champions League club or stay at Dortmund, we don't know. But Klopp's definitely got the pulling power. I'm not convinced by the Ancelotti rumour. I don't know if he's the sort of manager that would excel at Liverpool. His last few clubs have been big clubs with big budgets and amazingly talented players. If he goes to Liverpool, he's going to be facing a very different challenge. I've got no doubts that Klopp could do a very good job at Liverpool. Personally, I don't know whether Klopp should take that job. I think after putting on a long shift in at Dortmund and running the club the right way financially, he'd probably quite like to go to a club with a bit more clout. I think if he hadn't had that dodgy season at the end of his Dortmund tenure, he may have been able to go to any of the big clubs in Europe. Maybe a Real Madrid, maybe an Arsenal if they were to get rid of Arsene Wenger, maybe a Man United. But instead, he's probably got to repair his reputation a little bit, and moving to Liverpool might give him the opportunity to do just that. Obviously, there's that famous picture of him touching the sign at Anfield. That's one of the reasons he's seen as a good fit for Liverpool, I guess. Frank de Boer is another manager that's been linked with Liverpool. He's a distinguished coach. He's one of the Dutch managers. We've had a lot of Dutch people coming in to England with different effects, really. I think Ronald Koeman's done a really good job at Southampton. LVG, it remains to be seen how his Man United time ends up, I think. And obviously Dick Advocaat saved Sunderland but now has left. We should touch on that as well. He's left Sunderland. They're in turmoil. They should have really beaten us. They were 2-0 up. Looked much better than West Ham, but weren't able to hold on. Got the red card. That cost them in the end. They still haven't got their first win. Newcastle looked like they were going to get something from the game against Man City, going 1-0 up. Then absolutely got smashed by one man, Sergio "A Bloody Aguero." What a performance, on par with the 5 goals scored by Robert Lewandowski recently. Yeah, he didn't score them as quick as Robert did, but still, imagine those two up front together, that would be deadly. Going back to Rodgers though, I'm not sure what's next for him, where he's going to go or what he's going to do. The managerial merry-go-round has very much started now in the league. Obviously Sunderland need a manager, Liverpool need a manager, Newcastle could be looking for a new manager very soon as well. Would Rodgers consider a move to the North East, to Sunderland or Newcastle? Is that the right fit for him? A relegation threatened team? I'm not sure if he feels like he can do a job there. He did a very good job with Swansea, but he brought them up, following on the good work of Martinez at Swansea, and he had a philosophy there as well. A certain style of play, which isn't something we're seeing from Newcastle and Sunderland right now. Maybe he could go and, bring that into force at one of those clubs if they want to go down the Rodgers route. I think a more likely route for Sunderland at least is probably Big Sam Allardyce, formerly of West Ham of course, never got a team relegated. He's probably the pick of the bunch in order to keep Sunderland in the league, although he is a former Newcastle manager, so I'm not sure how the Black Cats fans might feel about that one. Obviously this week we've got to talk about the Arsenal 3-0 victory over Man United. They sent out a message. That was the sort of performance that both Arsenal fans and neutrals like myself, who love watching what Arsenal do so well, which is play that beautiful possession passing football, that's the sort of performance we've been waiting for. Finally, it all came together for them. In most of their games this season, they've dominated in terms of shots, but they haven't taken their chances. Well, this time they took all their chances in the first 10 minutes and had already beaten Man United. Also, we saw a lovely performance from Ozil, the sort of performance I've been looking for him to provide for a long time. I gave him that criticism at the start of the season. And what he's done against Man United is exactly what he needs to do week in, week out. And if he does, people will start looking at him as one of the best centre attacking midfielders or attacking midfielders in the world again. I know some Arsenal fans already do, but the rest of the world needs reconvincing. Alexis Sanchez, what a performance from him as well. When he scores, doesn't matter where they're from, whether it's edge of the box or 2 yards out, the way he hits the ball, it's just beautiful. It's the cheeky tap-in he scored from the ball across from Ozil, or the one from the edge of the box which went on the roof of the net. The way he scores, his goals look nice. They just look nice. And of course, Southampton beating Chelsea. Chelsea's run of bad results continues. Mourinho looks more grumpy than ever. Is he going to stay there much longer? It seems laughable that a manager who won the league just a few months ago could be under this much pressure already. But this is the worst spell of his managerial career ever. And Abramovich is hardly the sort of owner that gives managers a long time when they're not performing the way he wants them to. So we could see him getting sacked. He's not going to resign because he wants his payout, I think. He said he wanted a long-term, spell at Chelsea, but if that was really true, I don't think he'd be throwing his toys out the pram so quickly. So we'll see what happens with Mourinho there. They need to pick up some points fast if they've got any chance of re-challenging for the title again this year. It looks like right now, I'd say Man City are the odds-on favourites to get it, but Arsenal definitely have to be watched. If they keep doing what they did against Man United, they could definitely mount a challenge. But that's it for this week's IMO episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the recent results. Who do you think should take over at Liverpool and at Sunderland? I look forward to seeing your comments on that one. Drop a like if you've enjoyed it, but remember, this has all been in my opinion. I'll see you when you're older. Don't go changing.